everyone. Welcome to Clear Skies. This is episode 5. Your hostess with the mostest, me, will be your speaker today. And my co-host, my Vanna White Jim, right there in the blue shirt.
Greetings.
He's doing his best to keep up.
Gonna try.
Today, we're going to talk about finding your first AI win. And I found an AI win for Cloud9 that I'd love to talk about. In my job at Cloud9, part of it is ticket review. And each and every one of these tickets you see on screen has to be opened individually. And the entire thing has to be read. Every word that the tech has written down and every email so that we know that it's completed to the best of its abilities. Now, on the screen, you can see that there's about 4,000 tickets that need to be reviewed. And I was opening each one and reading them individually each day. Even though I have a partner in crime here at the Cloud9 office, my cohort Riza, it was still taking us an exorbitant amount of time to get through each and every ticket. So during my yearly review, I brought up how much time this was taking, and we decided that there had to be a better way. This was our first AI automation win. We went to Hats AI and we gave it the prompt of, you are a seasoned tier 3 tech support professional who serves as an escalation point for training junior technicians and non-technical admin staff. I am the non-technical admin staff. We needed this desperately. So we gave it the ticket title, what the person needed completed, and all of the time entries the tech completed. This gave the AI enough information to give me the following, which is a summary of the ticket itself, plus what the tech did, and any questions or ambiguous moments that happened in the ticket that I could then ask questions about so that I can learn and so that the ticket is absolutely correct. Now, I understand that this is just a lot of gobbledygook for most people, but I just wanted to show you what it looked like when I got an answer back from the AI. Now, this was just the first iteration. We went from typing everything into Hats AI to something a little bit more involved. Our lovely AI man here, his name is Pav. He created us an entire dashboard. We can see every ticket, every account, and every time entry and ticket note so that I never miss anything. These are our internal tickets for our notes and for training. When I open it up, it gives me everything I need for each and every ticket. And I can grade it. I can send it back if it needs to be fixed, or I can send it for billing. It's the perfect dashboard. Now, that's just the most high-level version. For you, we need to start at the beginning. The first thing you're going to be looking for when the hunt begins are the things that you have to take care of every single day that take up time and are basically brainless. It's repetitive. It's time-consuming. It's got a lot of information. Here, we have some industry examples. I come from the construction industry, so I know that data reports, project reports, injury reports could be AI automated by the foreman or the superintendent simply speaking into their phone, and then the AI can transcribe it into an actual daily progress report. For healthcare or agriculture or finance, I'm not an expert in. However, the same could be said for clinical notes or irrigation recommendations or even financial reports for your clients. You will still have to review them because, as we talked about in episode 1, AI can hallucinate, so we just need to make sure that they're correct. At the end of the day, it's a simple way to consolidate a bunch of information.
So I've put up the first poll. Where would you like to see an AI win? And it matches your selections here. Saving an employee time, improving customer experience, gaining better insights from data, reducing operational costs, improving security and risk management. I think people probably have a tendency to want to check all the boxes. I want to do it all.
I was going to say, where's the, I want to do it all.
And I think,
You have to pick one to start.
yeah, I think it's important that people come to this concept of why. What is it you're actually trying to accomplish? Because there is a tendency with ops consulting or AI or automation in general to want to boil the ocean, right? And if you're solving the biggest problem, I think you get into a trap.
Right. Yeah. And I like to think that it depends on what kind of sector of the company you're in. CEOs are going to want to reduce operational costs. Customer service techs are going to want to improve the customer experience because that's going to make their job easier.
It's actually a really interesting point about how much it's role-based. That's a good observation.
I mean, I'm an admin, so I want better insight from data so that I can understand how I'm helping my team progress, which is how we came to where we are today. What's keeping you from getting to AI? An unsureness, or is there something that is a concern for you, such as security or compliance?
I really feel like this is both role-based and probably vertical-based, right? It's going to be vertical-based when you're talking about security and compliance. Larger orgs, regulated orgs, that's going to probably be the first thing that scares them, right? It's really, again, this is the boil the ocean thing. You could solve so many problems. And I think there needs to be a follow-up episode of how do you even identify what to solve, right?
I think that's one of the things that it does scare some people off, is because it's such a big unknown and it can do so much that they don't know where to start. And that's why so far people are a little bit afraid, because it's so vast and overwhelming to a lot of people.
There is the crawl, walk, run aspect of it, right? I was talking with somebody a couple weeks ago and explaining agents to someone. Well, Caroline, you've probably worked in this enough now. Technically, your original version of a QA bot was basically an agent. It was a pre-programmed prompt. It had some background information, right? That was basically building an agent. And when people talk about agentic workflows, it's like there's an agent that's been programmed. It's like software with words, it's like programming software with words. What's the outcome you want? Who are you supposed to be representing? Who's your audience? Same thing that we went back to that intern phase. So looks like the biggest barrier is not sure where to start. And I think that tracks. I think that's a recurring thing in a lot of businesses. Gathering metrics and finding out where your pain points really are isn't really fun.
I think you speak for yourself, Robert. Some people like to gather data.
Except for the data guy here.
Now, with our ticket review dashboard that started as an AI review bot agent, we've saved a lot of time. It was taking us 20 hours a week between me and Riza every week for the first year we were here.
Going from 80 hours a month.
Yeah, to 8.
It's a pretty big number.
So we are happy to have any conversations with anyone who would like to find their first AI win or their first automation win.
I have a question for you, Caroline.
Sure.
What is your level of tech knowledge in going into this ticket review? Do you understand everything that the techs are putting in there, or how does AI help you bridge that gap?
So I am what I have affectionately termed a tech toddler. I can set up a cell phone. I can plug in a printer. That's about it. So this AI agent was actually incredibly helpful because I told it I didn't understand technology and I didn't understand AI. So when I give it information, it explains it to me like the tech toddler I am. That way, I'm never confused and I can always ask the right questions, and there's never any knowledge gap between me and the text. I think in our first iteration, Rob, I told you to have it explained to me like I was 10 years old because I just needed it as simple as possible. With technology in a lot of industries, there's a lot of acronyms and terminology that can become muddled. And I just prefer to have it told to me as simply as possible so that I can get to the grits of it, you know?
You're saying not only can it help you save time, but it could bridge that gap and maybe even teach you things in the process.
The tech toddler that I am, I believe when we started this, I would have put myself at about a 2-year-old level of technology. I'm a true toddler, and I'm now a first grader in technology now that I've read through for the last 8 months.
I obviously know the process before and after. And there could be a show and tell there. I was going to share my screen and show a little bit about that prompt. This was the actual agent. This was the prompt, right? We actually told it, I think, up here. So it would say, paste in your ticket time entries, enter notes for feedback and other thoughts from a senior resource. That would be what it told people. And then this was the prompt. You're seasoned. And I remember, Caroline, you specifically said something when we were working on this prompt. You said, I really don't like having to bother the technicians to get decoding like jargon or industry terms or technology terms. And there was translating industry specific jargon into plain English so that you can essentially train admin and junior technical staff on the thought processes and methodology to help them fill in their knowledge gaps. Like we told it when you come across industry jargon to explain it. So
absolutely.
And then we gave it assumptions about customers, but I remember we tweaked it. You kept coming back and forth, and sometimes it was getting really, really hot on compliance stuff. So we were like, more of a nod than a lecture is okay with regard to compliance. I feel like people seeing this is a true agent, right? And that's what started the process that eventually became a workflow.
And as a tech toddler, what's the difference between what we made and the Hats AI original prompt we had?
So we used AI to make AI better. It became a iterative process, right? Our dashboard, this is talking about agents again, but the system prompt, the guides, the overall thing is an iteration from that original Hats prompt, right? You're part of a professional quality assurance system for IT tickets. What this means is this system prompt, it's going to be in front of all the other prompts to kind of guide.
So like our client could go and use Hats AI in a similar way that we did at the beginning, but if they want something a little more built for them, then they could go to Cloud9, and that might be something that Cloud9 could help with.
100%. I think the point, though, and really what I would want people to take away is the importance of building an agent and actually testing the usefulness of it before going and actually building an entire workflow around it. Right? Like you can basically prove your art by
using the free AI.
Yeah. So this is building an entire system, right? So when you're talking about, coming in and having an interface like we eventually did, right? Where here's your system prompt, right? This is the overall technology, but why did we even go to building all of this in the first place? Why did we decide to come up with this flow? Because we proved inside Hats first that building this agent was effective. And it doesn't have to be in Hats, right? It could be in Copilot. It could be a GPT agent. It could be a Claude. But the point of the matter is when you've got this proof of concept down, maybe through 1, 2, 3 agents, then you could say, hey, wait a minute, this is working. This is providing value. And then you can decide how much value. And from that standpoint, you can determine, is this something we're willing to actually invest and build an app or something about? And I think that's the point we got, right? Was we had determined, that this is going to save Caroline and Riza a ton of time. That's my take on it.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, what it comes down to is repetitive, data heavy, and things that take up a lot of time that can be measured. And that's how you find your first AI win. If anybody has anything that they'd like to reach out about after this show, we'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Until then, we'll see you next time on Clear Skies, and I hope everybody has an amazing day. Thank you, everyone.